Yeah, next video, what we got? Oh yeah, Civvie got a new video. He just posted a new video 11 hours ago. 11 hours ago. We're on it, guys. We're on it. We're not watching a Civvie vid late this time. We're on it. We got The Nightmare Child by Civvie. Are you guys ready for this? Are you guys ready for this? Oh yeah, the pink sauce. I just remember hearing, like, it became a popular trend to buy it simply just because of, like, I guess the way it looked or something. I don't know. I don't know if anybody actually liked the taste. But I do remember hearing, like, not long after there was drama about the packaging, and it was like there was no way to make sure it didn't go bad. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know. But yeah, Nightmare Child, Civvie, let's go. Oh, it's quiet. I don't. Okay. So I like in a tunnel. See what that is that called? Clown Vomit Psycho. uh. Okay. Uh. Good luck reading this before the title comes in. Bitch, I know what the pause button does. You ain't catching me out. You ain't catching me out, Civvie. So I guess photosensitivity warning. Put your sunglasses on or something. Gears of War is interesting, but I just can't get into it. It was just one of the first games I remember playing on the Xbox 360. I just loved it for the chainsaw gun. Also, was it 1 or 2 where I can't remember. I think it was 1 or 2 where the story actually was like really emotional. Like, you wouldn't think it, but these like big buff steroids up the ass dudes and shit being all gruff and manly man during this fucking war, but it's like it's actually the story's actually really emotional. It's like I wasn't expecting it. Hour 0.
So, comic books. I never really read a ton of comics. Like, my experience is walking through the comic stores and seeing the most ridiculous thing and picking it up. I mean, Army of Darkness, Ash saves Obama. The hell does he need Ash for? He
What
has
the fuck?
military. I certainly wasn't into comics in the 90s because I was a child. I'd still heard of Spawn. It was a movie and a TV show on HBO I wasn't allowed to watch. So I missed the 1997 to 2000 run of Kiss.
I remember Spawn. I remember seeing the Spawn, was it movie? Yeah, the Spawn movie. That freaked me out, but it was so good.
Psycho Circus. And I continued to miss it throughout the rest of my life because your boy Civvie isn't a member of the Kiss Army. I don't casually listen to Kiss. It looked, to the uninitiated, like it was your dad's version of ICP. Just cornier and possibly more educated on the science behind magnets. So I've been really confused this whole time when people have been telling me to play the game Kiss Psycho Circus The Nightmare Child from Third Law Interactive. Like, I know boomer shooters, but the inclusion of Kiss makes it even more boomer. Like, I was gonna boot this game up and it would tell me to get a real job by looking at the classified ads in the newspaper. I want to do a crash course in...
I just know I got away with watching a lot of stuff because I had my own TV when I was super young. I just know I got away with watching a lot of stuff I probably really shouldn't have. I just know it. Because I know I was too young to watch that Spawn movie. I just know.
Kiss. I know some of the music. I can't play it in this video, but I've heard like Detroit Rock City and God Gave Rock and Roll to You from the end of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. And what's that one that goes, I was made for loving you, baby? Oh, it's just called that. And Love Gun, which isn't beating the Spinal Tap and clown makeup allegations that I just made. This comic was published by Image Comics and Todd McFarlane Productions. So what's it about? I see the cover isn't gonna help me. This shit is 90s edgy, kids. A boy named Adam goes to a grotesque fortune teller and she reveals his nightmares to him, which is fine, because he asked for a Nirvana reunion, and I was a little worried they'd do that in the edgiest way possible. No, instead the boy goes home to his dad, who smacks the shit out of him. Come on, kids, don't you like rock and roll? Adam leaves in the middle of the night with his friend, but his visit to the Psycho Circus has made a giant Gene Simmons demon cross over into our world, and when a cop harasses him, the cop gets killed. This demon keeps maiming and killing anyone who's an asshole to this kid, and that's basically everyone in his life. His priest is an asshole to him, and so his church blows up. His dad gets the shit beaten out of him with every punch he'd ever thrown at the kid, causing Adam to return to the fortune teller, but instead he finds the ghostly old gods of Kiss, who are like, hey, you wanted this, right? Because you're a violent piece of shit? And Kiss is like, whatever, kid, you need to stop thinking about these violent things, and the only way out is to kill yourself. Come on, kids.
What the fuck? Yuko!
But really, he wakes up in a field
the next day, the
circus gone, and decides to wander
17
the earth.
months.
The next story is about a violent criminal who wanders into the circus and gets ripped apart by the Beastmaster's animals, and then he turns into a dog, and his criminal friends who come looking for him put him down. It's very Tales from the Crypt, which I can get behind. I don't know what this has to do with rock and roll. You see, Kiss, as in Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, Ace Frehley, and Peter Criss, are not people, but elder gods who represent different elements like fire, but also vengeance, rebirth, strong emotion, water, animal instinct, earth, balance, air. Each member's doing a lot of heavy symbolic lifting. The circus itself is populated by freaky characters. This little clown, L'Etoile the Jester, the ringmaster Jonathan Blackwell, the stilt walker Matthew Stargrave, and Tiberius McClear, the animal wrangler. You know, they all share the... Okay, I understand what's going on, but how do you turn this into a video game? You make it a first-person shooter about a Kiss tribute band who gets recruited by the fortune teller, Madame Raven, when they go to play a concert, but nobody's there, so they go to the circus. You've got Pablo Ramirez, alter ego the Star-Bearer, Paul Stanley, Patrick Scott, alter ego the Beast King, Peter Criss, Gabriel Gordo...
Like, once again, Civvie is showing me a game I've never heard of, don't remember at all. Like, I don't remember seeing anything about this at all. Like, I don't remember seeing promotions. I don't remember seeing gameplay. Seriously, it's one thing if I'm like, I miss out on a game simply because either, like, you know, money issues, or I just thought it might not be for me, or something like to that effect. But it's another when I just legit have never heard of the fucking game. Don't remember seeing nothing.
Alter ego the Demon, Gene Simmons, and you know I saved the best for last. Andy Spades Chang, the Celestial, Ace Frehley, and former Yakuza operative and master of electric guitar. I'm guessing he's named for artist Andy Chang, one of the devs at Third Law. A lot of these names look familiar. Third Law Interactive doesn't really ring a bell. They weren't around long, only from about 1998 to 2001. And they worked on this, and a World War II game, and an expansion pack for Aliens vs. Predator 2. But some of these names, man, okay? Mike Maynard, I know we've heard that name before on this show, because he was part of Jam Productions, who made Blake Stone, and he's a senior programmer at id now. Lead designer on this game is Sver Kvernmo. My apologies for butchering that pronunciation. He was a level designer on Doom 2's Master Levels and Redneck Rampage. In fact, the major players at this studio all have this huge hole in their resumes between 1997 and 2000. Programmers Jonathan Wright and Mike Maynard, audio designer Will Lecanto, level designers Matt Hooper, Kvernmo, David Namaski, artist Mark Morgan. I know I've seen all these names before, but where? What would a bunch of mostly talented designers with a history of FPS development be stuck doing in the late 90s?
Not 12 Google searches.
Oh.
A whole 12.
Oh, God. They're all Daikatana refugees. Okay, David Namaski was working on Anachronox, but the rest came straight from Ion Storm's Daikatana team, resigning in the middle of production because they'd been working on Daikatana for 18 months. They were likely part of the team during the switch from the Quake 1 engine to the Quake 2 engine. They'd seen some shit. You have to remember that when The Nightmare Child came out in 2000, Daikatana hit shelves 2 months earlier to widespread mockery. I tell you all this because I did not have high hopes for this game, and that's before I learned it was made by former Daikatana team members. No, what I knew about this game was that it was on Lithtech. Lithtech 1.
All right, what now?
They say that it's LithTech 1.5. Yeah, an Unreal 1.5
Yeah, I'm
powered
getting
Postal
that
2.
impression,
Everything
Hugo.
in my being told me before now to avoid this game. The corny grandpa rock roots, the ties to some of my most hated titles across this channel's history, excluding Blake Stone, obviously. Truly bad things must await inside this package, even if there's been a playable, mostly stable fixed version uploaded to the internet recently that I've been using. Considering that the last time I attempted to run Blood 2 on Windows 10, it gave me a blue screen error and corrupted my video drivers, I was hoping this fix would be the kind of electronic condom that I needed to safely engage with this thing. I really don't mean for the
Say what?
preambles to be this long in videos. It's
What kind
just,
of condom?
did you hear all of that nonsense?
An unspeakable sickness breeds in the shadows of this place, and the circus lies at the very heart of it. Here then, as the old elements call out for avatars to champion their cause, to undo the coming of the Nightmare Child.
In this tutorial, you will learn movement, combat, and interaction with the world.
Okay, which of the
You're
devs is
talking
sitting at
about
his desk
terrible Beyond
recording this,
Measure?
tweaking
Damn.
off Diet Coke and 60-hour work weeks, recovering from 80-hour work weeks at Ion Storm? But something is very wrong here, in that nothing is wrong yet. This doesn't feel like janky LithTech. This feels quaky. The destructible objects are exploding into proper debris. A boombox is playing Kiss music, and I have to mute the footage. Aside from the normal movement training, you're given a sword and a kind of machine gun called the Zero Cannon, I assume because the X-Buster was unavailable. Like, this isn't bad so far. Everything from the weapons, animation, movement, and visual design, all of it seems quite good for the year 2000. You've even got a dedicated grenade button, except it's a jack-in-the-box, but the sentiment is the same. After the tutorial, you get a character select screen. Except it's not. I want to play as the demon, wouldn't you?
The Nightmare Child was designed for the realms to be played in a specific order. If you choose a character other than the Starbearer, you will not experience the game as intended.
It's an episode select screen. Each character has their own set of levels meant to be played in order. This is strangely old school. They say they were inspired by
Yeah, it's
Doom,
also
and I can
confusing,
picture Gene
'cause
Simmons taking his time.
It literally looks like you're just meant to like choose a character you prefer to play throughout the game. Like it doesn't. I don't know. It just looks like a character selection instead of a story selection. So yeah, I would have thought the same thing.
Phone to a publisher. Here's $10. Go make a Doom. So I start where they tell me to, with the Starbearer.
This is the Water Realm. The old avatars are powerless, lost in the void with their masters. It is you that have been favored to be the
fucking fortune
Starbearer's
teller lady.
champion in this time of desperation.
Yeah, I get it. They can't get kissed, so they get a cover band. I think the former Yakuza member might have more fighting experience than Ace Frehley. This is how each episode will play. You have to gather 6 armor pieces that'll give you buffs and make you look
Silly
like
snickerdoodle.
this. We got the Elder Gauntlets, which you'll always get near the start, giving you the melee weapon and increasing your health to 100. The Elder Boots increase your ammo capacity and make you jump slightly higher. The Elder Belt increases your ammo capacity again while also letting you move faster and pales in comparison
The
to
fucking
the power
makeup
of the
is sending
Foreigner
me.
Belt.
Fill your eyes with
The Elder Vest doubles your melee damage and increases your ammo capacity
Arise,
again,
chicken,
which
arise.
seems unnecessary. The Elder Plate gives you a max health boost and increases your ammo capacity again, which seems doubly unnecessary. And the Elder Mask increases your max health to 250 and increases your ammo capacity yet again, which is absolutely unnecessary. As the opening cutscene plays out, I can't help but notice how it isn't a giant pile of shit where the camera jerks around like in other early LithTech games. It's actually quite
I just like how he's like stunned that he's not reading it for filth while reading it for filth that he expects to be in the game. It's like, wow, I expected this to be like hot garbage, like steaming hot garbage from the get-go. Stunned.
tasteful and well done. So anyway, you go upstairs and you get your sword. The only thing so far that reminds me of Blood 2 is the jumping sound. As soon as you open the bar, the first enemies are introduced properly after the tutorial. The Headless, the most common low-tier fodder enemies you're going to see moving forward.
Hot pink kissing carpet.
I know I'm not looking at accurate dismemberment here, but the slicing feels good. The effects look good. If it seems like the enemies are spawning endlessly, well, they are. Kind of. Because these things here are spawners. There are a few varieties in the game, but this one spawns headless. I've read that they have a spawn limit, but I haven't seen it happen because I've been too busy trying to destroy them as quickly as possible. Early into this level, I'm lucky enough to be able to tell you exactly how many of these things I've had to kill. 60.
How much? Oh,
We're still
oh
in
my
the
God.
roadhouse. We
That's
haven't
so-
gone anywhere.
Can
Enemy
we-
spawners are kind of annoying,
I didn't
right?
like
So
that
it would
zoom
be
in.
smart if the game placed them sparingly. So there's another one right around the corner. To escape the roadhouse, you need a key. But the key is on a box that's just too high for you to jump on, so you have to go around.
You
Yes,
got-
this is slightly too high to jump on. You need special boots. From there, you enter into
You
bad
got weak
streets.
little legs.
The game introduces you to the stumps in the level's opening cutscene, which are dinosaur-like creatures that bark like dogs and spit
Spawners once
fireballs that can
again.
take 20% off your health. So I really hope that they don't... Oh, no, they got spawners too. Oh, and enemies spawn in huge numbers even without spawners. And the triggers for them seem to be repeatable, so you can
Do
clear
the
an
spawners
area
wanna
and
kiss
then
from
walk
Kiss?
through them again
That's the
and
question.
reactivate them because fuck you. You get a magma cannon that acts as a shotgun and has a slower rate of fire than you'd expect and an extraordinary damage output. I suspect that a single pellet connecting to a fodder enemy will jib them. Already, you have a couple of the elemental weapons. The Zero Cannon is water and the Magma Cannon is fire. At no point does this feel like a shitty Lithtech game. In fact, it feels more like something on the original Unreal Engine or an updated Quake 2 engine. The creature designs begin to shine once you meet the Blade Master. I mean, look at him. And then you get the boots,
What?
which let you jump high enough to get on top of this crate to collect a key. Next up is the Arachnoclown, which looks like something Todd McFarlane had left abandoned in a notebook somewhere with other unused ideas. It isn't bad. The models and textures are actually really good. What's shocking me the most is not only is this not bad, but so far it kind of fucks. Aside from the spawners and the strange dedication to making your jump pitiful, this plays pretty well. The weapons are punchy and you can see enemy health bars to judge what attacks are doing better than others using that whole
the zoom
elemental
in.
weapon
The
system.
zoom in.
The game has secrets that vary wildly between easy to spot and impossible to spot. Like this one here is easy, it gives you a couple gems. 40 of those gems will give you a power-up, like an arcade game. And now that I think about it, there's a score in the top right of the screen.
Oh my God, the
too.
zoom
A
ins!
score? What year is this? Speaking of
Making
old
my
school,
eyes cross.
It takes me an embarrassing amount of time to realize that the Zero Cannon operates like Doom's chain gun, meaning that you lose accuracy as you hold down the fire button. But if you spam the fire button quickly, that's right, you never miss. Helpful with faraway enemies and spawners because there are so many fucking spawners. See this magic shop? There's a spawner on the first floor. And the second floor. But hey, at least I can grab this. Oh yeah, here's the X-Buster. It's actually a rocket launcher. There's creative level design to go with the creature design, like this part where you walk through a door and suddenly the
Sneaky
library
teleport.
bookshelf is huge. Does it have spawners on it? Of course it does. Is there
Sneaky,
a spawner
sneaky.
right when you get out of this room? You bet your ass there is. Draining a fountain of purple poison goo, you enter some sewers. I'm still having fun so far, and at the end of this short section I noticed the exit, which is this mirror. The first time I legitimately looked at this game and said, wait, how in the hell did they manage that? This is Lithtech, not Unreal, and this seems to be a mesh, not geometry.
I'm getting suspicious every time you mentioned, like, this is supposed to be Lithtech and not Unreal or anything else. Because it's becoming suspicious now. A little sus.
Oh yeah, of course there was a spawner in front of it. And then I get my favorite weapon in the game, the Scourge. Yes, it's a whip, and I may be withholding some things, kids.
Whip
some
it
things
good.
I learned in the tutorial, because now something else happens. I I'm forced to ask again, what year is this? This is your Earth weapon. Despite the fact that it's a whip, it is immensely useful as a ranged weapon. Always accurate, low ammo cost, borderline unfair at times because 3 to 5 hits can take down enemies from across the map. I say borderline because attacks from the medium tier enemies can absolutely fuck you up. The Arachnoclowns have a lightning attack that took about 30 HP off me in a quarter of a
Oh my
second.
god, my eyes.
The Blade Master from before, his attacks home in on you. The
It's
Fat Lady, introduced here, takes a much larger amount of resources to kill and
What
throws
in the
living
hell
blobs
is that
of shit
enemy?
at you that operate independently before eventually
really-
bouncing off to their deaths.
She really be fucking rolling in. She just some of these enemies are sending me. It's why have I never seen or heard about this game before?
And if you shoot her body after she's dead, it explodes into those, which then explode. You think these little beetles are low-tier fodder enemies. Nah, they have hit scan attacks. They're chain gunners. I can't deny the care and work that went into every aspect of these designs visually and in terms of how they affect gameplay. It is very Doom-like, isn't it? Every monster has its own special attacks and behaviors, and they hurt like a motherfucker. This guy, the Unipsycho, yeah, it's a portmanteau of unicycle and psycho. Very cute. They shoot homing projectiles too. These blurry but impressive for the time particle effects. Alright,
Well-
it takes more than half your health away. Or not, it really depends, I think, on RNG. Just like Doom! So you brave the streets and the cathedral and the sewers to get to the circus, and they can't wait to introduce more mid-tier enemies that completely fuck you up. This one is fittingly called the Ball Buster. See, he fires fast-moving cannonballs at you, and also if you
What-
hit that target
what
in the
is that?
stomach, your attacks bounce off. Yeah,
What is
even
that
whip.
outfit?
If he hits you, say goodbye to 40 points of health.
Like, sir, put some pants on.
Psycho Circus tends to have battles against these medium enemies while they're
For
supported
everyone's
by
sake.
a horde of smaller ones. It is very much like Doom. Although the enemies are generally faster and hit harder, it's spicy, and it can occasionally be annoying, but I don't hate it. Alright, this part where the circus tent seems to be alive and keeps spitting out the ball busters forever is really pissing me off. Oh, right, I have the ultimate weapon for the Star Bearer, the Stargaze.
The what? What the?
You get your final piece of armor, the mask, bringing your character from looking edgy in a funny way to just looking funny. The game has relished in introducing each monster, so the boss gets something special. He comes in a clown car. It's Fortunato, the little clown from the comics?
Is he was he literally just jumping with his ass?
Oh, god damn it. I can't praise the character designs enough. This looks so good for Lithtech. This looks like Quake 3 shit. I can honestly say that they're not taking
I
inspiration.
love how he's literally just in disbelief that it's Lithtech and his like backhand comments and compliments.
From Doom for the bosses.
God.
This one, like all the others, has multiple stages and is very mobile. He's not really difficult even if he keeps growing, and the jibbing? Oh, it's beautiful. Lithtech jibs before this were weightless, puny things, and here they're chunky and they bounce.
Well done, my friend. I did well to recruit you in this time of need.
Lady,
But if Fortunato has fallen to evil possession, then I fear Tiberius Stargrave and Blackwell may have done the same.
Ah, I see. The former hosts of the godlike eldritch power of Kiss, the ones from the comics, have been corrupted and we gotta kill them. Again.
And all the while, the Nightmare Child's cocoon grows, spelling out the doom of our existence.
Right, got it. Aboard evil fetus.
Doom.
Feels weird how often I have to do that.
Show the enemy that their rage is no match for the beast you hold chained within.
Right. Totally. Completely understood
Oh, no,
that.
wait, it crashed.
Of course it
The
did.
ruins of the Roadhouse hold the first shard you seek, Hunter.
Oh god, this is some Daikatana episode 1 green right here. Holy shit. Because we
Yeah,
have to
that's-
collect everything again in each episode, we're back to
It is
square one
really
on weapons
green.
and armor. I'm of two minds about the melee weapon you get for this character, the Beast Claws. On the one hand, I enjoy slicing through a few enemies with this thing. The sound feels a little weak, like I'm cutting my way through with a scalpel, but it is satisfying the first 100 times you do it. The element of Earth is represented in this game by big green fields and big green buildings. Ooh, a jukebox. Look at how cute and low res it is. They even animated the needle. It's just...
I was waiting for it.
See
Yeah, I
that?
love how
That's enemy
I love how in a lot of these Civvie vids, it's like a lot of the final boss or the returning boss is always crashing. Game crash. Game said no.
spawning out of nowhere and an enemy spawner spawning out of nowhere, with another spawner activating in front of you and another spawner around the corner. This clearly is a reference to Todd McFarlane's most famous creation, Haunt. Just when the game begins to annoy me again, it reminds me that it does have good design. Here's the Strongman, another medium-tier enemy with a devastating attack that's fairly easy to dodge when you don't have 20 headless nipping at your ankles. Look at all the polygons they saved by making his hands into weights. They could really put that extra graphics processing into the details. I mean, the skin is just great with the expression on
that
his
face.
face, the two-teeth underbite, the faint veins. Can't forget about the ticklers, though. Langolier's
I love
outfitted
how
with
the
Gene
Crash
Simmons'
Bandicoot
legendary
music right now
box slapper.
actually would actually
Oh, yeah,
fit
3 of
weirdly
them in
into
the
this
first
game.
encounter, and we haven't even gotten to this shit. You might not be able to tell from this footage, but that's a tickler using his ranged attack, sapping a bunch of
What?
my health through a rock. Then, because Doom, they infight a bit.
They
But-
hacking, they cheating.
No, fuck right off. Stun locking seems to work well enough, kinda like a cacodemon. And then you're back to walking into big rooms with one medium-sized threat and a spawner. It is becoming crushingly repetitive, and we aren't even halfway through this game yet. And it's not just the medium enemy and endless fodder battles. It's the endless fodder battles that grind this game to a halt. The headless flooded in through these vents. Not that I
Yeah,
could see
like-
it since I
Sadly, that's still a thing that happens to this day, where it's like you can tell sometimes where in certain parts of games where they'll purposely put in like a lot of a certain enemy, or it just kind of happens over and over again where you can kind of tell they're kind of just like trying to fill out the game and make it a little longer, stretch out the time. It's a weird balance, because it's like, I get if you want to make your game like a certain length and a certain difficulty, but at some point it gets less fun and more annoying.
was on the other side of the door, so I jumped down and... Ugh, fine. The levels are
fucking
all
whip
broken
sound
up
is
into
sending
fairly
me.
short stages, about 3 per location. So after the roadhouse and fucking around in green and brown caves for a while, I'm happy to see the new area.
Hour 4.
In the garage, you should find transportation to the circus.
I hope it's a clown car. Oh, okay, it's a little old-fashioned, but I guess I could...
What?
Oh yeah, consider my balls busted. I guess
What?
when you have the likeness rights,
We
to
just
Kiss,
get a
you
new
use them
car
when
and
you
it gets
can. As this mansion has
exploded?
tons of pictures of the group. It's an orgy of low-res scans of Kiss albums and photos. I just want to go appreciate one of them when... Oh, good. They're shotgunners now. This game seems terrified of
course.
letting you take a breath. You're in the vents dispatching enemies? Well, we'll find a way to cram a spawner in there somewhere. The best way I can describe the shift in tone of this game's combat is at first it feels like cutting through the jungle with a machete to try to move forward.
Was Leon driving?
It feels like mowing the lawn. And this game's idea of escalation is to put 2 medium enemies and 2 spawners in a room. No, my mistake, 4 spawners. This means that the pacing of the game goes from lots of enemies to lots more enemies to can we get this over with? Small drops of the game's visual creativity bleeds into the gameplay. Like this room. Yeah, that's kind of funny, right? Like the car getting blown up? You'd think that 16 headless is enough, since they're slow to actually attack despite quickly getting in your face.
Yeah, the video game
So the only
license
difference
music
between
thing is
16 headless and 100 headless is time. So of course
like
there's
it's kind of ridiculous these days, but it's I also do like that a lot of games these days will have an option in like the settings somewhere. Sometimes, not a lot, but it's slowly becoming more popular to do, where they'll have like an option where they'll have like if you're streaming or making a YouTube video, they literally tell you like click this and you won't get copyright. It's like, cool, great. Although sometimes they don't make it to where it's enjoyable if you do it that way. Because it kind of takes something from the game. So it's pros and cons, I guess.
a fucking spawner in this room. A good way to judge cheap difficulty is to play through an area twice. See, because the first time it kills you, but the second time you know the death move is coming. So you breeze through because the game's relying on overwhelming you once with small enemies. Once you know where the spawners are, you can prioritize them. A second playthrough of Psycho Circus will take half as long as the first. And let's talk about that whip again for a second. You know, the one that lets you grapple around arenas. It is criminally underutilized throughout this game. Hooks that you can grab onto only appear every so often to traverse gaps or to quickly ascend in an area. You don't get to grapple much in combat. And I overall like the combat in this game. It's mechanically sound, elemental systems work, audio and visual feedback is good. What brings it down is the level design, which at the moment is funneling you through boxes and hallways that all present basically the same challenge. If there's a stairway, there's good odds that there's a spawner at the top. And the bottom. Okay, into the cemetery, I can explain one of these power-ups, the Chaos Heart. The other power-ups work pretty simply, with the Rage Orb giving you infinite ammo for a minute, and the Angel Charm giving you invulnerability. The Chaos Heart makes your damage output fluctuate between 200% and 0% based on the sound of the heartbeat, which is an interesting mechanic that would be engaging in a game where you didn't need to constantly be shooting. Another thing that chafes my ass like chainmail underwear is stuff like this.
Chainmail underwear? What the fuck?
Yes, it's another battle with one medium tier enemy and a horde of smaller enemies, again, but that's not what bothers me. In fact, I liked the introduction. The circus tents rising, the music starting, that's cool. At the head of this arena is the exit. The gate where you came in, permanently closed. You're blocked off from the rest of the level. Psycho Circus does this a lot, and in a linear game that isn't full of secrets, it wouldn't bother me. But here I'm missing 2 of the secrets, and I can't go back and find them. No, I have to go to the circus. I'm sorry, the mask just, it kind of ruins the whole thing. Like, I am the king of beasts, but also just a little kitty. Little kitty made for loving you, baby.
It looks so weird.
The game does break things up with some more inspired set pieces, like it did in The Manor. This time, though, you have to run across some targets in the right order, though this one's brought down by introducing the worst enemy in the game. The Meanie Beanie is like Fernando, the first episode's boss, throwing the same explosive bowling pins at you, but the way the pins work... I don't know who programmed this, but I hope somebody replaces your car with a Cybertruck. The way the splash damage lingers means that the already painful attack continues to drain your health a lot longer than you expected. Couple that with the unpredictable flight patterns, and you've got the worst clown that Todd McFarlane has ever put his name on. Yeah, I know, shut up. Next boss is Tiberius, who is a big bull with a whip. A bull whip, if you will. Which is not a pun that I made, it is a pun from the game, it's right there. I had the most trouble with him because I accidentally walked into the spikes at the side of the arena and the game crashed.
Fucking roll.
It's not crashing as much as a Lift Tech 1 game, really earning that 0.5.
The crash
especially
boss
since the game
strikes
seems to
again.
only crash on me at the most convenient times. It's not like I lost any progress because there's an autosave at the start of the boss fight and you're not allowed to save during. Tiberius is mean. Charge attacks, whip attacks, grabbing you with the whip so that my explosive shot blows up in my face and kills me. I like him. It's tightly designed and requires you to manage the cover in the arena, which both of you can break right through. Been saving the King of Beasts' ultimate weapon for him, this spear that kinda acts like a railgun. A weird thing I noticed before it transitions back to Madame Raven is how the fade-out effects work. Like, it seems to throw a big subtractive light over the whole level instead of fading to black, which is such a strange workaround. Yeah, hold on, she's not ready. She's got to put her face on.
Actionable pun detected.
Up the voltage.
Oh no. Well,
Okay, well now I'm just mad and covered in my own piss. The Celestial doesn't have it as easy as the last two. He's got to run through hell to get his first weapon.
Run like the wind, boy. Don't even think about fighting them.
Which is, in theory, the coolest of the melee weapons of this game, but in practice is a touch awkward to use.
what in the Silent Hill is this fog?
They give you this and the rocket launcher right at the start, so you can either attack very close or very far away, wasting your energy blowing up weak flying enemies. Find the whip. Because of the way the armor collection works
The
in this
fucking
game,
whip.
every time you start a new episode, you're slower, weaker, and your melee damage is half what it was in the last level. So you're spending more time meleeing fodder enemies. I straight up hate this level, because it lies. There are two valves you have to turn to open
Liar.
some underwater gates that'll let you progress. So I find the first one, which is the
What
first
are
one
these?
everyone will find, because the second one is in a secret. So you have to blow up some barrels to break a wall. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean I have to know that I can break the wall myself because the barrels don't fucking work. The first valve shows you an
What?
identical pipe and an identical grate opening, but it's in an area you haven't seen yet because in order to get to it, you need to open the identical grate through the secret one. Why? One of those valves has no reason to exist. The non-hidden one.
Yeah, this sounds like a lot of things. A situation that kind of happens in almost every game where they either forget or it's just bad design. They didn't really think about it, and it's this is why playtesting should be a thing. And we're just getting worse with it over the years, honestly, when it comes to playtesting. But it's like, if someone who's never seen, heard, or played the game, or anything, has to look up something, or is completely lost and confused because of this type of situation, it's just bad design. It's bad. It's bad design. It's bad.
Opens a path that the hidden one gives you access to. Why? All of this to get the boots that let you jump slightly higher to pick up this key to open the exit, in a level small enough to comfortably accommodate a two-player deathmatch. The next level is just as small. It takes around 8 minutes for me to complete on a first playthrough, and that's counting 2 minutes at the end where I look for secrets I missed. This episode has heavy industrial themes, and for the moment enough fog to convince me that I'm playing Turok. At this point, I'm not really concerned with secrets or kill
I thought of
counts,
Silent Hill,
which is
but I didn't know
convenient because
Turok
now
had
that we've entered into the power
fucking
plant, the game
fog.
is spawning enemies everywhere, and some of them get stuck and I can't kill them. Secrets won't help me with the combat. I understand how it works. The game has introduced me to almost all of the monsters now,
Oh my
so
God.
it's really a change of scenery, and
God, that's a thing I miss. Hold on, let me see if I can.
the game has introduced me to all.
That right there, Dr. Love. I love it. I miss this kind of thing. You don't really see it a lot. These days you get actual, like, sponsorships in fucking video games. Or not sponsorship, ads of real life products. And it's like, bring back the made up universe drinks and snacks and stuff. I miss these. I miss these. What was the one from the Fear series? The people that made the Fear games, like, and it wasn't just in the Fear games. It's like Cheesy Poos or something. Oh my god. I miss them. I miss them.
Almost all of the monsters now, so it's really a change of scenery and the same fights. Granted, the monster placement is a little more inconvenient, and it hurts my ears.
Warning.
What in the fuck? I feel like that's an alarm for some people to get up to go to work. It's like warning, brr, brr, warning. It's like, bitch, wake up.
Alright, no problem. Not one single point of health lost.
Yeah, I never
Then
played the
game
Turok
throws two
games.
erratic
Another game
clowns at
series
you
I
with
missed
no
out
cover,
on.
and they blast you with lightning from across the room. You can stun lock one of them, but not both. Bullshit. Oh, spawner that produces flying enemies. Very cool. Just fucking take it.
I think I have at least the first Turok, maybe on PC, on something. I don't know. I can't remember. But I've never played them.
I hate that I respect so much of the work that went into this. Like, so much of this game is designed really well. The way glass and environment objects shatter like these computers, that's cool. Inside the Rock City nuclear power plant, you know, because Rock City, like Detroit Rock City. But I guess Detroit would be too Detroit? Of all the levels, this one feels the most unfinished. The layout is strange with two silos you have to drain, and then, oh look, it's a spawner. A spawner I can't hit from this tiny window. So I have to go down there, take care of it, then go back to the control room because there's an identical silo right next to it with the same thing. And I don't want to hit both buttons and activate two spawners, right? Sounds like
you know what would send me in a rage because of that? It's because earlier he mentioned he got hit through a fucking wall, a whole fucking concrete wall or something. And it's like, they can hit you through a wall, but you can't hit that thing through that little gap. Really? Really? Cheats and hacks.
just more trouble, so I backtrack again. Then deal with these clowns, then grab the celestial super weapon, the Galaxion, which is cool. It works good, especially when compared to
it should. It's taking up like a third of the screen.
Which has a similar function on paper.
What? What is this?
Two more spawners down a long, barren hallway later, and that's the end of this level. After the power plant, you're on the rooftops above bottomless pits, dodging shots from tanky enemies that are far away and ineffectual enemies up close. It's pretty, I guess, but the location serves no function in the gameplay. In fact, I don't think the enemies are made for this kind of terrain, because more than once I had to shoot a faraway enemy to get their attention, and he shoots some fireballs at me, you know, the homing ones, and I'm watching them, ready to dodge.
What?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Fucking roll!
I questioned including that.
Cheats and
even though
hacks!
He didn't fire another projectile at me, and there wasn't another one around shooting those. Then I see this. Pay attention to this fireball. Oh, that is vicious.
No.
Fine, I can deal with that guy. Fuck!
They fucking cheating and hacking over here, I swear.
Oh, I can feel it. I can feel the blood tube trying to claw its way out. Oh, please, God, no.
I love how this game is like giving him like some type of PTSD. He's over here having fucking war flashbacks.
I'm still who I always was. I have her seed in me. Scientists have proven that the underlying cause for my kind of insanity is genetic. She always has had and always will have a strong effect on my behavior. I have her seed in me. I may be well now, but I'm not cured. I'm still her flesh and blood. I'll never be cured. Flesh and blood, flesh and blood, flesh and blood. Insanity is genetic. I have her seed in me. I'll never be cured.
This
But
is
it
so
was
demented.
supposed to bring forth another monster.
Fucking hell. Hour 8.
Oh, the grinder. What is he gonna do? Try to hand crank? Oh no, he's a chain gunner too. And there's spawners behind him. Fucking shocking. We left the rooftops on a ship to sail to the circus tower. See, it's the element of air, right, so there has to be platforming challenges over bottomless pits. It's here where we fight Stargrave, who's a less creative boss. You drain his health, he gets
is it one of
attacked
the
at charging
longer
stations,
vids?
I destroy the charging stations, and then kill him in the game crashes.
Must have been a lot of
So
trauma.
I fight him again, and he dies, and him dying is really cool looking.
What? What the fuck? What?
You've smashed the opposition and turned the tide on the spawn of doom.
Oh, Spawn of Doom, that's cute.
Yeah, this.
Still,
They're
the
not really
realm of
subtle, are they?
violence lies in shackles.
Oh yeah, the demon, the one I wanted to play as first. How does he work? Well, you get a cool axe, which you use to destroy spawners. It's the Roadhouse again, except with lava. This game is just about out of surprises. See, this game's chief weapon is surprise. Surprise and
No python.
oh, fuck. I swear they're making these levels, right? A path from point A to point B, and then later they're throwing the monsters in. So it's not really... Yup, that's fucking roll. Like, you got this big room here you can have a battle in. Just put 4 shotgun bug spawners in it. Bam, job's done, fuck you. And then there's this level that lasts a minute.
To block your way, an old enemy has a new trick up his sleeve. Use his elemental weakness against him and quench the growing flames.
I have no trouble killing these 2 enemies, and then there's the exit. I know there's something else going on here, but it doesn't matter. It's a little late to be trying to encourage me to use the proper elemental attacks. Now, I'm getting pretty sick of this game by this point.
Yeah, to be fair, with the N64 controller, it was like, I remember first getting that. It was like so fucking confusing because, especially back then, it's like not every type of game genre, whether they were the same or not, would use like the same game controller mapping, like for buttons for certain actions. Like they're pretty streamlined these days. Like there's still little differences, but it's like it's pretty streamlined these days. But back then, especially on the N64, it was always a weird guessing game half the time. Whether and the other half was, does this feel right? I don't know if this feels right.
I'm in the last episode. I fought all the different monsters in every configuration. So it's time for more sewers. 3 stages of lava sewers.
Damn.
It's kind of like being on the rooftops again,
Yeah, 293.
except instead of bottomless pits, it's inescapable pools of lava.
Hour near.
When is enough enough? I can't say for sure, but that point has to be somewhere before you hit lava sewers. At least for once, the grapple is useful for something, which is getting over here to get the demon's super weapon, Draco, the demon's pet dragon. It spits lava in an arc and kills things real good. It also doesn't suck your ammo pool as hard as the other super weapons, and the power-up that's right up this ramp here is a secret, I guess. That's... Look, this game isn't as unfinished as Blood 2 or Daikatana, but come on. I've had enough, okay? Enough chain gun sniping faraway ball busters, enough tanky hit scanners, and my limit on spawners was reached like 2 episodes ago. This level has an evil train. You can tell because it has a skull on the front. It helps me once.
Nice.
What was once our proud carnival is now but an empty shell of evil, ruled by a soulless ringmaster.
Yeah, it's evil now, not when it was trying to get an abused teenager to hang himself. That was a lesson. Sponsored by Kiss. Dickish spawner placement, but at least I have the head of the dragon to push through. Actually, all the tougher areas are easy to push through with this thing, once you get the hang of the arc on it. Why is it always Twin Peaks? So I grab a ticket to the show and oh, god damn it.
Always haunting the narrative. Always. Their fucking tongues.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the center
Ladies
ring,
and not ladies.
we present a dazzling spectacle.
Welcome to this
featuring a
fucking
menacing
shit show.
menagerie of carnivorous creatures, formidable foes, and everlasting evil.
Everlasting
Intern who read that line and
gobstoppers.
couldn't decide on an accent. Like the floor is lava, and he has fire attacks, and this is the fire section, but the fire-based weapon works really well on him. Like he has to start bringing hit scanners in to help him. And then he spawns some clones, but nah, it's not very hard.
Oh, we're so excited.
The four who are one stand united.
Yippee.
Quickly
Okay.
now, while there's still time. The Dark One must be banished.
It actually lets you pick who you want to play the final section as, and I chose the demon. His axe and his dragon are pretty fucking cool. And now you start with all your armor pieces and weapons so the game can throw the kitchen sink at you. Not that it wasn't before, and actually it's been pretty steady in terms of difficulty for the last couple of episodes. This hellish dimension is full of flesh rather than fire, and chains holding that flesh. It's actually quite beautiful to look at from a visual design perspective. I'm just plugging along, whipping faraway enemies and dodging their attacks when the game throws a totally new enemy at you, one you've never seen before.
What? What?
A giant explosive jack-in-the-box that spits out smaller exploding jack-in-the-boxes. So it's just another fucking spawner then? That's the last enemy before the final boss, the Nightmare Child, who isn't the hardest boss in the game, but sure is the most tedious.
The final test
Ew, what
is
is
at
that?
hand.
What in
Steal
the hell?
yourself.
I'm sure this womb looked better and didn't have a big seam down the front of it in lower resolutions. Wait, what the? You see all these eyes? You have to kill each one of them before you continue. And for some reason, this one seems to be dead set on dying last. Okay, cool. Love the Nightmare Child design. Like, obviously, I hose him down.
Nope. This is so fucking funny looking, I can't.
But then... he turns into a giant spider.
Oh yeah, no.
Fucking kidding.
No, that makes 100% sense. That makes 100%
Drag
sense.
you with it into the downward spiral of doom that already shackles it.
Spiral of Doom. God, you know what you could make out of this game was the fucking every time Doom gets said in this game you drink, you'll die of alcohol poisoning probably at the end of it. But you know, it's a game to play during a game.
Alright, got a tricky leap and sting attack going on. I can
Went
handle
all
that.
it on us.
But remember how you can't save in boss levels? Get ready to whip all those fucking eyes again!
Seriously? Oh, I hate that. Nope. Uh-huh.
Avatars. The elements honor your services with undying gratitude and name you as true soul wardens.
Wake now from this dark slumber. The world may dream again, for in truth, this nightmare is at an end.
Oh, my
Alright,
eyes.
final cutscene time. Let's see, and the game crashes.
No! My my
Back
eyeballs.
to the eyeballs, I guess.
Oh my god. The never-ending boss. This is so fucking bad. I love it. It's so bad.
You motherfucker.
And so, the last breath of the storm has passed. The shadows stir no more.
And you know what? The only thing I'm missing in the ending cutscene is all these monsters dancing while the cover band rocks out, and it's set to God Gave Rock and Roll to You, so I can't play it anyway. This game starts off really fun and is eventually crippled by repetition and lame level design. Like at the beginning, I was hyped. This felt like some lost classic boom shoot. And I'm sure there are people in the comments who will disagree, who love this game, and I get it, because there's plenty to love, but in copying Doom, they've made a caricature that forgets enemy placement and relies on shock and awe while giving you the same fight over and over into eternity.
Yeah, it definitely looked like, as dumb as it sounds, as a game, it did look like it had like potential. Weirdly enough. Yeah, you motherfucker. Civvie had it. He was full on talking to the game. He was like, bitch, if you do this one more time. Like, he was ready to throw down with the entire game itself. Yeah, see, this is just it's just ridiculous. Oh my god. Like so many of like the Doom clones or Doom inspired games or Doom style games are just
Oh man, come on.
like some of them are hit or miss, and then some of them have their own unique style where it's like it doesn't even really feel that much like a copy, I guess. But some of them are just some just take the concept and put shit on it. It's like, it's weird. But yeah, this game, I feel like this game like would be fun to play, at least at first. Like it looked like it did get kind of annoying and repetitive at the later half of it. But it's like it looked like it had some potential. Yeah, that was a good Civvie vid. He showed me another game I had never fucking heard of before at all. Like nothing. It's wild.